And just like that, it is another Thursday night. Welcome to an episode of the Indie Escape Network presents the Sticky Microphones Road to Carolina Fearfest. This is very exciting.
Hey, gang. All right. So Joe Ridgely on Wendy's ear. We've got Joe Ridgely, Jamie Hill, Amy Lee, Badass Cody. We're the Charlie's Angels, and he's the Bosley, but I am the Kate Jackson. I'm the Sabrina of our Charlie's Angels, but without the brains. So I'm screwed. Girls, this is fun. I'm excited. And you know why? Jamie, I wish you could be here with us. We are going to be part of Carolina Fearfest, which is our own local con, which is coming to us this weekend. And that's kind of what we have some of our guests on tonight. Jamie, fly down. I think you should do it. You have time to.
Well, wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah. So Amy, before we get to our guests, I'll just kind of do a quick little introduction. We have 3 people on from this con that we all know. The first one is my buddy, Ron Fazio, and he's really interesting. And, I'm excited that he's part of this. I actually know Ron because he took voiceover for me. But here's the thing with Ron. Remember the Toxic Avenger, kind of a cult classic? Well, he was Toxie 1 and 2 with the trauma, the big trauma house. He also, interestingly, before he did Basket Case 2, he was a Dallas Cowboy football player and a Philadelphia Eagle football player. He played sports ball, basically. So I got
to make one correction. You said Toxie in part 1 and 2. It was actually
2 and 3. That's what I meant. 2 and 3. Thank you very much for correcting me. Then, of course, we have the infamous Matt Burns, who Amy and I know and love because we attended last year's Carolina Fearfest. He's a doll baby, right? I mean,
he's a sweetheart, yeah.
He is part of, I think if I'm right, Matt is part of Slasher 15 Productions. He's a producer also as well of some films, including The Only Ones, which I think I did voiceover in. I'm not sure. And then, of course, we have somebody really amazing that Amy herself has worked with, Brett Wagner. He's an LA actor, and he's done basically every mainstream cool thing you could think of, like The Bold and the Beautiful, the Crazies, The Mentalist, Sons of Anarchy, House, and some really cool stuff. But he's coming to this con.
Well, I got to say something real fast about Brett.
Yeah.
Brett, I just had a duh moment, and yeah, I figured out the problem with my mic. Thank you.
What is it? What's the problem with your mic?
Go on.
Okay. Amy, I want you to go ahead and talk about Brett because you guys actually worked together on the grind, so you can help bring him out.
Brett, what can I say about Brett? He, I've always loved Leatherface, and I know he's done so much stuff. I mean, just like everything Wendy was naming and more, and he was amazing on everything that I've seen. I loved him in The Crazies, but we all know how I am with my serial killers. So the fact that I got to be in a film with Brett Wagner and watching him, when I went to set and I seen him act, it was just like such a dream of mine because he's Leatherface. You know what I mean? And it's just the fact that he was there and I was in the same place with him, and just watching him was so like one of the best experiences in my life. Not only that, like he looks mean. He's not mean. He's like he's such a tall, big teddy bear. You know what I mean? He's the sweetest. He was just amazing, and being on the grind with him, which everyone will see the trailer at the Carolina Fearfest, and I'm so excited about because I've never even seen it yet. So I'm super excited about that.
We're doing a panel, so we'll also talk about that.
We got to do the panel. And what else can you say about Brett Wagner? You know what I mean? He's just the sweetest man. And we're so happy that he took the time to be on our podcast, even though we know he's extremely busy with the Fear Fest and everything. We are so lucky and grateful to have him on here.
Yay. And I'm excited. And real fast, our own Jamie is kind of taking to the cons around her area and been invited as well. So, hopefully she's going to have some good feedback and some news from some of the people from over there in Canada, on the other side of do we call it the other side of the border? I don't know if you're supposed to say that, but the north part of it.
I'm up north.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, Canada. Okay. Well, anyways, without further ado, we should have 3 guests. We should probably bring them on and get cracking. What do you say?
Yeah, I'd say
Sounds
so.
Good.
All right.
You ready?
Yep, I'm ready. Hey guys! Oh, look at these handsome fellas.
The big Schwag.
Them all moved around and everything.
That's a lot of
laboratory.
testosterone in the room.
Oh, I'm on top of Ron. I get to be on top of Ron. I could say that.
I'm on top of Brett.
Nice.
So sorry, Jamie. You get the mad scientist here.
What about me?
I'm on top of Matt and Joe.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay, good one.
Quantity over quality.
You guys are
Okay,
amazing.
I changed my mind.
Okay, let's talk about Brett for a minute. Brett, we know you have a lot going on. We know you've done a lot. So why don't you just kind of tell everyone, like, how you got into the business and just a little bit about yourself.
Well, first, let me show my Dead and Buried T-shirt right there.
Oh,
Man.
Very classic film that a lot of people probably don't know. I started. I wanted to be an actor when I was really young. I used to watch, the Night Gallery and, Night of the Living Dead, Romero's, Dawn of the Dead and Twilight Zones and all that stuff. And so I knew pretty early on as a kid that I wanted to be an actor, but I was an athlete. I was a big, tall kid, and I played all 3 sports in high school and thought I was going to be a pro athlete, but just the yearning to go be an actor was just very great, and I loved horror movies, and I started taking a professional acting class like at 21 years old, and it took quite a while to get into the union, which is I almost gave up on it after like a year and a half, and finally I got a Tostitos commercial, which got me Taft-Hartley, and I even got cut out of that Tostitos commercial, but it got me in the union. And then if you can last long enough in Hollywood, if you live in LA, especially back then, I'm 55 years old, so I've been out there a long time. You will eventually audition for every TV show, a lot of movies, and if you're lucky enough, you'll do a lot of TV, whether it's Nickelodeon, Hannah Montana, Sons of Anarchy and all that good stuff. So I've been, blessed that over 30 years of acting that I got to do a lot of stuff. So
do you think, can we unearth that Tostitos commercial? Boy, wouldn't we love to see that.
Well, if I wouldn't have got cut out of it, it would have been great. Believe me. It was just a look. That's all it was like a look. And I was like, hey, that's great. I got I'm in the union now. And I remember I had to borrow money from my agent. Because when I started acting, it was like $2,500 to join the union. I'm like, I don't have $2,500 for God's sakes. I'm a bouncer. I was a bouncer, so I would work at night, work in the club, so I had my daytimes free. In fact, I used to work a bar called Smalls, and Mark Ruffalo was our bartender.
No way.
The Hulk, and I threw people out of the door. And I remember I got my agent first, and I remember I went and told Mark. I said, my agent will pick you up, man. I'm telling you. Because, Mark was a very good, even back then. And he was doing plays and stuff. He said, I think I'll stick with the plays. Let me just do the plays for. I'm like, yeah, I think Mark had the right decision.
Wow. Do you and probably like we'll ask Ron the same, but do you think that sports, like leading with kind of your sports foot, did that kind of get you in the door because you were an athlete, or is it just your build? Was it just something simple like that? Oh,
no. I had a flat top. I was, I was a new big actor, in Hollywood as far as being a big guy size wise. So that'll get you in the door. I've gone up against the same guys for 30 years. If they've lasted, it's not an easy job to last in. So you see the same guys over 30 years, the Michael Bailey Smiths. I don't know if you guys have ever had Michael on. I know Joe knows who Michael Bailey Smith is, and so does Burns there. But you see the same guys over 30 years, and it might be your day, it might be their day, So it's just one of those things. People say it's not a numbers game, but if you're an okay actor, it is 100% a numbers game. If you go on for 10 things, maybe, or 20 things, maybe you'll book one thing. So over 30 years in LA, I've got my fair share. So I've been lucky.
That's great.
Now, Brett, what, I know you've done a lot. You and I have talked when we did the grind and stuff, and I already knew who you were previously just because I love you. And what can you say was your favorite role, like, to date? Like, what was your favorite film to do?
I mean, I really enjoyed doing the crazies. I mean, it probably would be Texas Chainsaw Massacre if I would have finished the whole movie and not got hurt and got replaced. But, I did a movie with Robin Williams called Bicentennial Man, and that was my first movie I ever did.
Oh, Jamie.
And so that was, that was pretty cool. I mean, this is the funniest story. I'm up in San Francisco, right? My first movie. They give you a per diem. So back then, I mean, they gave, here's $350 for the week, but I was there for 2 weeks. So they gave me like $700. And I'm young and single, like an idiot. I go to a strip club called the Roaring Twenties. Not even the first night I am there.
You gave away
I spent all my money in one night at the Roaring Twenties. And then for the next 2 weeks, I just used to walk. When we weren't filming, I used to just walk around Fisherman's Wharf, and this guy felt sorry for me. And he would take tourists out to go around Alcatraz on his boat. And he's like, come on, get on the boat. So I would, almost every day I was on a boat going around Alcatraz, pretending like I was helping this guy on this boat.
That's amazing. Now, like, I just watched The Crazies again for the 100th time the other day.
Time out.
Uh-oh. What's up, Joe?
Out. We were supposed to be going through the introductions here, guys.
We did the introductions.
We got to bounce around.
Yeah.
There's two other guys here. That's right. Anyways, listen, The Crazies is great. It's fun being an actor, but I'd like to hear from the Toxic Avenger, to be honest with you.
Me too.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
So,
why else would we be here, right, Brett?
We're going to go around so everybody has a chance, but I do want to let everybody know that Ron is actually also the nicest guy. He's good looking, he's successful, he's got it all together. So Ron, I mean, you have some good stories from football player to Toxie. Take us on the journey.
Take us on the journey. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Like coming through okay with my mic? I don't know.
You sound
okay?
good.
Okay, great.
Like a Boyd. Yeah.
So, Brett, I'm telling you, we have a lot in common. Played sports all through high school. Scholarship to University of Maryland. I got my little Maryland jersey on here, but played football, and I tried to make it with in the pros after that too. So got a chance to try out with the Dallas Cowboys. Broke my thumb during the middle of the season. Spent some time on injury reserve and got let go after the end of the year. And then tried out with the I'm forgetting now, Philadelphia Eagles. And that was 1986. So 85 was with the Dallas Cowboys. 86 and 87 were was with the Philadelphia Eagles. 87, if you remember, was the strike year. So I actually was able to play during the strike year. We lost all 3 games, so it didn't really end up being anything for me at that time anyway. So after the football career is over, moved up to the New York area, or North Jersey, with a couple of guys who played football with, and we got into working some of the bouncing jobs in New York City. We were all 6'3", 6'4", 6'5". So while I was working as a bouncer at one of the smaller clubs, so you're making a living, but one of the girls who was a coat check says that she was going to be in a movie, and I was like, let me go ask about that. So long story short, I asked her about it. It was going to be the Toxic Avenger. She was going to be in it. She was going to be an extra, and I asked her. I said, let me go check it out. She gave me the information, and I went down there, and they actually were looking for a Toxic Avenger. However, a second team Toxic Avenger. So they already hired a Toxic Avenger before me. The guy's name was John Altamira. And they needed a second team guy. And I said, sure, sign me up. They told me how much they would pay. Any guesses?
No, was it a lot?
About 20, knowing trauma, what was it, about $20 a day?
That's exactly. Almost $50 a day.
Okay, no trauma. I've always heard stories about them being tight.
But I said, hey, I'll take it. I'm not doing anything. I was bouncing, at the time. So I'm thinking, hey, this is going to be great. So loved it. So getting to that part where they had already hired John, this guy, John Altamura. For some reason, though, about, 3 weeks into filming, he had some problems or some things going on, and he actually needed to leave the set. So I took over. So now I'm the first team Toxic Avenger, and it was just great. It was like Halloween every single day, getting dressed up, getting made up. It was a great time. I had a great time doing this. I would do it again in a second. But the worst part about it was I had to wear this mask that actually covered my one eye. And boy, when you take it off, it's like your vision is is all kind of messed up. But we ended up doing 2 movies back to back. And some of the cast and crew were not too happy with that because they only got paid for 1 movie. So
that was right.
But I was able to get a trip to Japan out of it because we flew to Japan and did some filming there. It was a lot of fun. And of course, I'm still, I don't know, what is it now, 30 years later, still doing, these types of publicity things for it. And it's been a great experience. After that, I got into, some other, acting, and the guys from Trauma introduced me to the guys from Frank Henenlotter's crew, and I got a part on Basket Case Part 2 that was directed by Frank Henenlotter. I played another monster. So I think I was on set for about, I don't know, maybe a week and a half, as opposed to like 2 months straight for Toxic Avenger. And I made more money on the Basket Case movie than I made on the Toxic Avenger movie. So
imagine that.
So crazy. So I mean, and then I want to get to Matt. If I can ask really fast, because now you're in the medical field. Can I ask what made you leave?
Yeah, well, after all that stuff, I kept trying, New York City, again, same thing. You're seeing the same guys on the same audition because we're all big and football player-ish and all that, same in common with Brett. But it wasn't quite paying the bills, and I needed to, make it there. If I can make it there, I can make it anywhere. I had that in my mind. If I'm going to quit, I got to move home to my parents and everything. So, this wasn't such a great thing at the time because I'm thinking I'm bouncing, but I'm not making any auditions. I'm not getting a lot of exposure. So at the time, I just said, hey, I'm going to go back to school. So luckily and unluckily, while I was bouncing at a Stringfellows was the place in New York City, very nice club, got into a fight. Big fight happened. I ended up cutting my finger and severing a tendon on a person's tooth. Yeah, so like there was a punch involved. Yeah, so I had to spend about a week in the hospital because it started to get infected. And turns out that while they were doing the rounds and visiting me every day on the in the hospital, the doctors and the nurses, and there were PAs. I actually said, what is a PA? I have no idea what's a PA. This was 1989 or 1990, somewhere in that range. And I actually talked to one of the PAs there, and they were students. And I thought, I know you don't know me or anything, but can I have the phone number? I'd like to call. And I actually ended up calling and submitting and applying to being a PA, and they actually accepted me, and I became a PA in 1993.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was cool. It was very cool.
So, guys, we have a couple of comments. Good evening, all. That's
Hey,
actually
David.
Hi,
writer-director
David.
David Lee Madison,
David, what's up, bud?
who has a show
David.
on the network.
He's a fellow bouncer.
And did you bounce at Flash Dancers?
Who's that question for?
From David Lee. David
Probably
Lee.
for Ron, because it's New York City. I'm guessing you're stationed in New York City.
I never bounced at Flash Dancers. I do know that I worked at Stringfellows. There was a club called Rains at the time. There was, oh my gosh, Waverly Place was a name of a club downtown. but I never worked at Flash Dancers. No, that's a strip club. So
Ooh.
never worked there. Visited there.
Well, we know Brett would like to work there.
Yeah, Brett would visit there with his $700. Speaking of
Yeah, it was per diem. It was per diem.
One Stringfellows and Fazio. Whoa, who's Nunzio?
I don't know Nunzio. I do Peter Stringfellow.
Oh, interesting. All
So
right.
This must have been later.
Yeah, maybe. Great times watching drama.
Aw.
Yeah.
So we don't. We're gonna save the best for last, and you know, I love somebody bearded and amazing, and yeah, there he's looking around. Speaking
Who? Clear. Yeah,
What's going on, Joe?
the great Matt,
Joe.
producer, part everybody's favorite guy. Matt, go ahead, tell us the story.
I'm not everybody's favorite guy. There are a few people that don't like me. There's only a few people that don't like me. But yeah, I was gonna say. But yeah, no. I mean, I don't really have as much cool stuff to say as these guys. I mean, you know, I was just a small town kid that loved horror movies, you know, and I just decided to roll with it. I mean, you know, it's just. I mean, but it's been a great journey, and like I said, it's been great. I mean, I've made a few movies. I've been doing the conventions for a while, and it's been a lot of fun. Actually, funny story for Ron here. Actually, John Altamura did my first convention I ever hosted in Fredericksburg, Virginia. Actually, John Altamura did. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us. I don't know. I know he had a lot of health issues and whatnot. So, but yeah, I wish his family the best. But yeah, he was an interesting guy. Yeah, we had him at the first convention I ever did, which was at a bar, amazingly enough, because my friends and I were thinking if you could mesh like heavy metal with like kind of like the Carolina Chainsaw Fest, I guess. we kind of had that idea like 10 years ago, but people didn't quite go for it then. You know, I mean, it was a lot. I mean, you know, horror con people and you know, heavy metal people seem to be very different. It seems like they're very different. I mean, it's just not the same. You know, I mean, and you know, it's hard to have an event to appeal to both. But yeah, we eventually figured that out, and eventually just started doing the regular cons. But I mean, but it was a lot of fun back then. And of course, nobody showed up. I mean, nobody showed up to the shows or whatever. So we'd wind up eating a lot of money usually. But I mean, but yeah, that's how you learn, I guess. And here we are. I mean, we're all here at Carolina Fearfest, and it's going to be a great weekend. We've had great pre-sales. I mean, it's the highest we've ever had. So I can't wait to see how the outcome is.
Oh, I got to ask a question for Matt real fast, if I may, before I forget.
Hey, what's up, Joe?
So David Lee Madison and I have a mutual friend that it looks like you were just working with. Can you tell us a little bit about Jim Crut and what project?
Oh, love Jim Crut. He's one of my favorite people of all time. Unfortunately, he does. Yeah, I was gonna say he's an amazing human being. We love Jim Crut. He's just fantastic. And yeah, he works on a lot of my movies, and he's done a lot of my shows up home. Unfortunately, he's never been down here because he is a veteran, and he usually does a thing in Gettysburg every year, Memorial Day weekend. So we want to thank him for his service and everything like that, of course. But yeah, Jim's just a hell of a nice guy. He's so supportive. Actually, he's in a project that Brett and I are doing with my buddy Jordan Miller, The Only Ones, which the teaser trailer just dropped. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet. It's looking really good. I think it's going to be a really good. It looks
great. Let's not downplay the fact that Matt Burns has got his fingers in a lot of different pies. Matt works very hard at everything, and I still think holds down a regular job.
I do. Yeah, because you call me during it all the time. Like, Brett, I can't talk right.
I do. He never talks to me. But Matt does a lot in the business and just keeps hustling and keeps pushing, which you have to do, you know. So Matt does a lot. Sure.
Yeah,
Matt, thank you, Brett. That means a lot.
We love Matt.
Matt, what do you do full time?
I work at a truck stop. I manage a truck stop at TA Travel Centers, actually. So yeah, wow. It's a cool little job. It's pretty chill. I mean, my bosses are really cool. They let me do fun stuff like this, so can't really argue too much about it. Yeah, actually, funny thing, Wendy too. Actually, I wanted to mention this to you. Tomorrow night at the Alamo Draft House, a movie you did a voiceover for my friend. Actually, the guy I work with a lot, Mark Byrne, is actually premiering. It's actually going to be premiering on the big screen. Yeah. One of One, yeah, the movie One of One. I was
going to ask. I think I wanted some VO for that. So.
Yeah. I was going to say it's actually premiering at the Alamo in Winchester, Virginia tomorrow night. Actually, yeah, I wanted to be there, but unfortunately, I wanted to. Well, not unfortunately, but I mean, fortunately, I'm here, obviously. But it would have been cool to see it on the big screen. It's a lot of fun. It's like a dark comedy. It's a lot of fun.
I can't wait to see it. Yeah, I mean, I did see the trailer. It looked really good. I mean, so you guys. Yeah. speaking of which, I mean, Brett, do you have any, certainly now's the time. What are some upcoming projects that you want to talk about that you're involved in?
Oh man, I mean, obviously I still audition for a lot of stuff, but with over the last couple of years, I've been getting to do a lot of more independent stuff. So I'm going to be working on The Unseen with Steve Merlo and Angel Bradford coming up this year. I did some work with Matt and his wonderful director. He'll talk about real quick here in a second. Who's just blowing people away with this new trailer. And The Only Ones. I got some other stuff coming up. We got the CJ Vecchio's Evil 3, which we filmed, which will be coming out this year. I think he's almost done with it. CJ kind of dilly-dallies on it, but he's getting it done. So we're excited about that. It's getting done. And then, it's a constant hustle. You gotta do everything, and it's auditioning. And as much as I don't like the auditioning process, it's something you got to do. So there's something big coming around the corner all the time. So yeah, so The Unseen, The Only Ones, which I'm real excited. Hopefully Matt will invite me if we do a red carpet somewhere.
Whoa, yeah.
If we don't do it in LA, I just got a movie. I have a little scene, but there are a couple scenes in Fool's Paradise with John Malkovich and Ray Liotta, which just came out a couple weeks ago. We went to the red carpet premiere, which was very nice. I haven't been to a red carpet in a long time. So, the wife had to go hire a professional makeup and hairstylist to get it done. And I had to go pick her up from that lady's house so we could go to the red carpet, which was nice. But, hey, listen, man, when the wife wants to get dolled up, you don't say no.
No, you don't
just say okay.
I hope that, if there's more Steve, then you better be prepared that she's going to be doing this a lot, because we're not going to show up to a red carpet without getting a professional hands on the hair.
Yeah, what?
Yeah. Now, Jamie, can I ask you, what part of Canada are you in?
I'm in Edmonton, Alberta.
I love it. I for 10 years worked the Edmonton Auto Show every single year.
Really?
And then I go up to, I do a big car auction in Red Deer. So either I would fly into Edmonton or I would fly into Calgary and drive up one of the ways to get to Red Deer. But I love Edmonton. I love the Edmonton Auto Show. Huge.
Yeah, so do I. I love car clubs, so I'm all over them.
Anyway, sorry about that.
Oh, that was for Ron. Ron, can you read that?
Did Randall throw as hard as it looked?
One of the hardest throws in the NFL. Yes, he threw it really hard. I don't know what else to say about it other than it was a hard ball to catch. But he developed a touch. You have to be able to let your receivers catch the ball. You can't just blow them away with a hard throw. But yeah, he threw very hard. Yeah. Kind of like down Elway.
Is that why you said? I got to ask this because you said you had a thumb injury. Is that why would that stop you from sports? Because of throwing the ball? Yes, catching the ball?
Yes, yeah. In my position, I was a tight end, and
you were tight end. That was one of the position you played. Yeah, you're a tight end.
Yeah. Which people say the joke is it's better than being a wide receiver, but
mushrooms on Wednesday. Go ahead.
Well,
breaking a thumb while you're supposed to be trying to catch the ball is really
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, anything in football, anything. If you break, you see guys and you say, "Well, that's a silly injury. Can't they just tape it up?" I mean, in football, you're putting your hands on somebody every single play. Something's happening. So if you have a toe bugging you or you have a thumb bugging you, you're kind of SOL. So it's for what Ron did, getting to that next phase. See, I never got to that. I played some semi-pro football 2 games, and I realized that this is not for me. It's just after high school, and once you get into college and you're playing, and then you go to that's a whole nother level. So much credit to Ron. People don't understand that's a tough deal. Almost as tough as pro wrestling.
Oh, they both sound tough. Didn't Jim Brown just pass away? Am I right about that?
He did. Happen? Yeah, he did just pass away. Actually, yes, he did.
Am I right? He had the rushing mark record. Was that? Am I saying that right? Was that him?
Well,
no?
I don't know what record.
I think Emmett Smith passed him, but
Okay.
But he had it for a long time.
Jim Brown, he was one of the most pure athletes there ever was. In fact, he retired very early to be from the Lions, who retired early. Barry Sanders. Two guys that retired very early in their career. I mean, Barry didn't go on to do any acting, but Jim Brown became quite the actor, and
he was in Three the Hard Way with my buddy Fred the Hammer Williamson. I had Fred at a couple of cons. He's an awesome guy. He played football as well. He played for the Chiefs. Fred's a great guy. If you ever hear this guy talk, he's hilarious. He's great. He's just such a cool dude. The Hammer. Yep, Fred the Hammer Williamson. Yep, he's such a good guy. So cool.
I don't know if you guys can read that.
We're going back.
That's the Wilson. That's funny.
So Boomer Esiason was the quarterback at University of Maryland. Outstanding quarterback. I don't know. Was he a second round? He could have been a first round draft pick, but he went to the I think the Cincinnati Bengals I think he played with the Jets for a while. So he had a really long career. He's also now a commentator on one of the stations there. But yeah, he great quarterback, a left-handed quarterback. So yeah, they actually get used to catching from a left-handed quarterback. So great guy.
Interesting. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh yeah, Ron. I was going to tell you, my cousin is actually alma mater's University of Maryland as well. So yeah, he actually went to University of Maryland as well. So that's pretty cool. Terrapin.
Go Terps.
These damn Terps, man, all over the place. They're worming their way into the film business. Now they're all over TV doing sports. Boomer Esiason is one of the. He was a great quarterback, obviously in the pros. He was a great college quarterback. He's super good at commentating everything he does on the radio and TV as well.
Yeah, he's great. And actually, I'm a big fan of Blue Bloods, the TV show. So one of the reruns I was watching, Boomer actually had a small role on Blue Bloods. But
that's cool.
Yeah, he's done quite a few things on the movies and TV and things like that. But he's a great commentator. He's always got a great personality. So nothing bad to say about him. He's a good guy.
Cool.
You can see that Jamie and Amy and I we're good on our sports knowledge, right?
We didn't think this was going to become a sports podcast.
I know.
Who knew? But I'll ask you a question, Ron. Who was the only NBA player ever to score 100 points in a game?
Will Chamberlain.
Bam! Look.
And Jamie, I don't want to hear it. The Oilers are the most overrated organization. I don't want to hear anything about the Oilers right now.
Vegas did much better.
Yeah, well, yeah, my team's Boston, so I can relate. we had the best regular season record, then we got crushed beat in the first round. So President's Trophy.
I'm not an Oiler fan. I'm actually I'm a knucklehead. I'm from Vancouver.
Oh wow, even worse than Canucks with Raggedy Ann and Andy on the team. Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to Matt. At one time, the Edmonton Oilers was the franchise.
Oh yeah, with they had Gretzky and Messier, Grant Fuhrer.
Was the franchise of one of the great ones.
They had a hell of a team. Bill Asa Tikkanen was they were just a great. Yari Curry had a great team.
My family grew
wait a
up
minute. I
on
want to get
Dallas
on these
Cowboys.
sports conversations. What the hell, man?
I mean, this is great.
Nice.
I'm learning a lot. I know that my family, it was Dallas Cowboys and Cleveland Browns. That's who my family was split between my mom and my dad. My mom was obsessed with Troy Aikman. Okay, so she had this big cardboard cutout. I swear to God, she put him in the bed with her. It was just it was like the size of Brett. He was like a 6 foot tall Troy Aikman. My dad loved the Browns. It was just like a whole thing. But I still love the Cowboys.
Guys, we're getting some feedback from somebody. I don't know if somebody's got a little bit of feedback going, but that's okay. I just wanted to.
He was the only person who played in the NFL.
It might have been me. I had a call coming in.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
NFL. Who is the only person to play in the NFL, Major League Baseball, and the NBA?
Bo Jackson.
No, he didn't play in the NBA.
That's why he didn't play NBA.
Deion Sanders didn't play in.
I was going to say.
Deion Sanders.
No, he didn't play.
He didn't play in.
And Michael Jordan didn't play football.
Who is it, David?
Yeah, he only got the minor leagues. He was minor league baseball. He didn't play in the majors. He played minor league baseball.
I'm going to love the answer, apparently. So,
all right, who is it? It's going to be someone old.
You're keeping us hanging, David.
Come on, David. Let us in. Who is
Jim Thorpe. Jim Thorpe.
Oh,
is it Jim Thorpe?
Is it Jim Thorpe?
Jim Thorpe? Okay, that makes sense.
Wow, interesting.
I mean, I don't know. Is there an answer coming up?
Chuck Connors.
Chuck Connors.
The rifleman.
I love Chuck Connors.
The rifleman, the badass on Werewolf.
Crazy. I didn't know that. I might have read that about him, actually. Like
really?
He was,
all three?
Good trivia.
Chuck Connors was crazy tall, too. I don't know exactly what I remember.
He's a big guy.
Oh, wait, is he the
especially for that time period?
It was, he was around in like the 60s, I think, or the
50s, 60s, 70s. He was the rifleman. It was a very...
Oh, he wasn't branded.
Branded, right.
No, it was the rifleman. He was the rifleman.
Okay, he did the rifleman.
And he had his little boy. I forget whose boy became a pretty big actor. Anyways, what the hell? How did we went from sports now?
I was trying to talk to Brett.
We're talking TV westerns.
Branded and Werewolf.
I'm like, Brett, talk to us about Leatherface.
So all right. We like to ask this question, and it always comes to this, and we're going to do a quick fire round, okay? And sorry, guys, you have to make out with.
Oh, here we go. Really?
With an axe murderer, with one of the murderers. It could be Jason, it could be Leatherface. Just a quick make out kiss, and you have to pick one. Matt, you go first.
You have to kill one, fuck one, marry one.
Oh, okay.
I'd go with Ghostface, because at least there's been a couple female Ghostfaces. I might get lucky.
I would say I would honestly, I would say Leatherface. It just depends on what face he's wearing.
Oh, okay. And who's behind it? Maybe it's Brett. Brett, who would be your pick?
And you have to pick Brett.
Ron just looks bored.
I think I'd pick that new Evil Dead girl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I feel bad. I didn't say that it can't be female.
Right.
Okay.
I think we were just kind of talking about the typical like Leatherface, Freddy, Michael, Jason.
Okay.
Well, I said Ghostface, so that counts.
I might go with the Leprechaun then.
Ron, if you need help, there's
Right,
a new female Pinhead. Just remember that.
There's a female Pinhead now. You're right.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Jamie,
We're gonna say the typical killers is who we're talking about.
But what about Tiffany? What about the Bride of Chucky? That counts too, don't it?
No, Matt, we're not talking about. We're talking about Leatherface, Jason, Freddy, or Michael.
No. You didn't say that. You said a killer. You didn't say that.
I said the typical killers. I said.
That's the rule. Jamie, I forgot, who was your pick? We talked about this last time.
The 50-foot woman. That would be it.
Oh,
there you go,
man.
Interesting.
That's a lot. That's a big one.
He's going back. He's going back in time. Yeah.
50s, man. I get the 50s, man.
Who played the 50s?
I am old, by the way.
Yeah, we were trying to decide the oldest of us, and Brett, you have me by a year, but Ron is older than Ron. You're older than me. I feel like we've talked about this.
I graduated high school in '86, and I'm 55. So Ron is probably just
1980. I graduated.
He's actually he's older than he looks. Too. Yeah, he doesn't look his age.
He doesn't look his age.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't actually.
Matt, how old are you, Matt?
40.
He's a little baby.
I'm the baby. I'm the baby. That's right.
You're the baby. Yeah, Brett. I graduated a year after. I was 87. So.
I was born in 85.
Yeah.
Well, Amy's the baby. Amy's the baby, actually.
Yeah.
Baby. She's the baby of the group. Must be fun. So you guys, I'm really excited. Amy and I are going to be there. She's doing the panel Wendy. And so Brett, you're going to be on the panel for the grind, correct?
I think I'm going to be able to get in there. Yes. I have a panel to do. I also have. I do full Leatherface costume photos.
Oh, I can't wait to take a picture.
I got to go over and BS with Ron at some point so we can exchange some bouncer stories.
There you go.
See what kind of gun he might have carried and what gun I carried when I was working that no one knew about. Stuff like that.
Do bouncers carry guns? I didn't think they were supposed to do that. Do they?
Kind of depends on where you're working, I think. I mean, I worked bars for 20 years. It just depended on if I was working by myself, or if I had a really good crew, I didn't really worry about it. Or if that bar was really rough, we might have a gun hidden somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I mean,
Adam pulled on us a few times, but
oh yeah,
never really got, got one.
That's funny that you said. So I was asking David today on the phone about that. Like, what do you do? Like, how do you take somebody? Like, if somebody pulls a gun, if I can ask, what do you do to quietly or safely take them down?
You run away.
Yeah.
You run away. Okay. Is there like
that'd be my answer?
Well, yeah, if somebody's crazy enough, they want to get into the club, they can't get in, or they go away, they come back, and this is the story that I can remember. It was a while ago, and pulled the gun on the main doorman. I was one of the bouncers. There's a doorman and then there's a crew of bouncers, and he if you're going to be that crazy enough to pull a gun in New York City, there's not much you're going to do about it. So you see, like we saw, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 bouncers just taking off down the street because you can't do anything. Like, you can't do anything about that.
I concur. There's not much. If someone's going to pull a gun on you, you could have 20 bouncers, but all right, it doesn't matter. Someone just pulled a gun on you. If he hasn't pulled the gun and he looks like he's going to go pull a gun, that's a different story. Whoever's closest to him might take a crack at him. But someone. There was a time when doormen, right, bouncers, in the 80s and early 90s, if you had a problem, you'd go take care of it with your fists. And then it kind of changed later on, where if someone says, I'll be back, they might actually come back later on to be an idiot. So,
yeah.
So I felt like Roadhouse. I feel like I know how to be a bouncer because that's how it is, right? It was like Roadhouse, wasn't it? Was that realistic?
There's not any pretty bouncers like Patrick Swayze, so
I wanted there to be.
Cooler.
Yeah, cooler. Yeah. Somebody told me that was a real thing. Oh, Vin Diesel was a bouncer with him, with David in New York City.
Cool. So there's hope. There's hope.
David should be on this show. David's got better stories than all of us.
Yeah, I know. All of us put together. Right?
He has his own show. But yeah, he's amazing. David he's been on this planet a long time too, so he has some really good stories.
So let me ask you, girls, and everybody else, what is everybody looking forward to this weekend?
Oh, Amy, you go first.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, seeing Brett, because I love him. And I can't wait to take a picture with you. I don't know, just, I'm really wanting to meet, I forgot her name, but she's the woman off of Welcome to the Dollhouse. She plays
oh yeah.
What's her name? I can't remember. She plays
Heather Matrazo.
Yeah, I actually just watched Hostel 2 for some reason. I've never seen it before, and I don't know why. I just watched it, and she was in there, which y'all know. Yeah. But there's something different about her, and I can't wait. She's one of my ones that I can't wait to see and wait to meet. But I'm really just looking forward to it.
Yeah, and Jamie's not gonna. I wish she would be able to come with us, but she's up in Canada. But I'm looking forward to the fact that also, besides the fact that Amy's coming in to stay with me because we do this together, right? We don't separate. I'm excited to see all of you. First to see all 3 of you. I already know Matt. I know Ron. We're going to be there to be supportive, but I'm excited to meet some other people too. And, Matt, last year you had some cool vendors. I bought some really cool makeup that I just used tonight. So
awesome.
I hope they're back. I can't remember the name of them, but they were really awesome. So I didn't know if that was under your umbrella, but I thought that was neat that you had some really cool. There were some cool vendors there, really neat rides.
I'm really hoping that I can slide Brett a little bit of cash and chase me with a chainsaw.
You got the wrong guy,
had like
man.
Wendy recorded on my phone.
I don't run. I don't. You know, I tell directors that, right? So if I audition for something, I say, hey, by the way, like I had to tell CJ Vecchio, I said, CJ, I don't run. I'm 305 pounds. I'm 55 years old. I can look like I'm moving quick.
Just walk fast. Walk fast.
Make sure the girl trips so I can walk up to her.
Yes. You know, and I forgot to mention, I did do a movie this year, which I'm really excited about, called Desert Fiends. Scout Taylor Compton's. I get to kill her in that. Tom Arnold's in it. Robert Lasardo. A lot of cool people, and we got to film that. Sean C. Phillips directed it, and it just might be the grossest horror movie with some humor that you're ever going to see in your life. So hopefully that'll be out by the end of the year. And you know, I told Sean, who's a really nice guy and a good director, I said, Sean, listen, this is the grossest movie that's been out. You're going to have to use that word gross. I want it on the DVDs. I want it the grossest. You know, we'll get Ron to do a plug on it, the grossest movie I've ever seen.
I love that.
Toxic Avenger.
So you're a killer. So you're a killer in that film.
I am a mutant. I play this guy mutant. So it's like it's very not Night of the Living. The Hills Have Eyes.
Wow.
with a little bit more humor and whatnot, and we filmed it in I think we filmed it in 8 or 9 days up in Vegas, and it was fun, you know, Eileen Dietz is in it, and a whole bunch of other people are in it, so it was fun to film, and I got to play a mutant, and it was nice
to kill again,
putting makeup on again, and this guy Eric Yoder, who's a special effects guy and a mask guy, did a really excellent job. So it was really nice to work with him, and so I'm real excited for Desert Fiends, because I think we'll get a Desert Fiends too. You know, like you know, the road trip version. So
that's amazing. I can't wait to see all your future projects.
I can't either. Believe me, I need some of that footage on some stuff, because like anybody else, I need to put some. When you have your reel, like my reel says 2017. I've done other stuff. I just have to get it on there and put it on there. Especially if you have a Actors Access page, you got to put all your new stuff on there, so your agents or you can submit all the newer stuff, because it's a big difference, you know, from 5 years ago to what I look like today. I was much uglier 5 years ago. Now I'm very handsome as I get into my mid-50s.
I still use my headshot from when I was in my 20s, and I don't understand why they don't understand. That's fair. I mean, so also wrapping it up, Matt, you know, I know that you're planning, you do other conventions and things, but this is kind of your baby. I want to ask you, this is the 4th year of this, am I right? Is that the 4th year or the 5th year?
Yeah, we've been at this since 2019. Our first year was 2019. Unfortunately, we didn't do it in 2020 because of the pandemic or whatever. But yeah, it's been a great ride, and we've gotten steadily bigger every year, it seems like. So hopefully this year we continue that trend, and it's gonna be a great show, I think. So hope everybody has a great time. You know,
well, Matt, I mean, you do a lot, and you do a good job, and you know, it. People wouldn't think it would take as much as I'm sure that it actually takes to do these types of shows.
Oh, it does. I mean, it's not easy. I mean, that's what people don't seem to understand. Well, see, people think it's easy, and then they try to do it, and they're like, "Oh crap, this is not easy." And next thing you know, they flush $5,000 down the freaking toilet or whatever. It's like, oh crap.
It's like when you see a film, it looks like it's easy because you're seeing just like all these scenes together, but you don't really know what goes into that scene you're watching. Because it takes a lot.
Even these no budget movies, you know, that we do, it's like, I mean, you know, it takes a lot. I mean, people think that they're like, oh, I can do that. Okay, do it. And then they try to do it, and they're like, oh crap, I can't do this now. It's like,
they don't realize you're doing it with no money, right? So you basically, especially on the real low.
Well, you know, I watched, you know, James L. Edwards, how, you know, he would.
Yeah, I mean,
he knows how to really, you know, pinch a penny in there, and how it's really hard to get things organized. Just the logistics of it. It's like planning 7 bar mitzvahs like in one time. It's awful. Ron, my last question for you is, you know, I know you're going to.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov. You're doing some of these cons. Do you think you're gonna like look at doing, some acting again? Is that in the cards for you at this stage? Maybe if something comes your way.
Yeah, actually, there's a new project I'm going to be doing where I play the lead actor Andy Sullivan in Head on a Writer's Block, who is a washed up actor, who's a washed up writer, and everybody kind of accuses him of kind of being a thief, et cetera, et cetera. So, and then he finds a new inspiration with this new girl or whatever. And I'm not going to give too much away about anybody, but it's an anthology. Like it's all of her stories are actually happening as she's telling them or whatever. It's kind of a neat idea, I thought. So I thought it was really cool. Todd Martin actually got the Shriek show. Brad Twig, of course, you know him because James is good friends with him. Wendy, I was going to say, yeah, I know you know Brad or whatever. So he writes a lot of Brad stuff, and I mean Todd and I have become good friends, and I'm doing some of his stuff as well. So, but yeah, Head on the Writer's Block, I thought was a really good idea about a writer and actually how the stories actually unwind as the people are telling them. So it's I thought it was kind of unique. So but yeah, that one's probably going to be out probably early next year, hopefully.
Oh, that's wonderful. And actually, the same question for Ron, because Ron, that little acting gigs they're coming in now. I mean, any interest in doing that at this stage?
Interesting in doing what? I'm sorry.
In acting, getting back on that a little bit. If some parts come your way.
I'm waiting. Yeah. No, I think I've talked about it with you before, but my situation is where I do work full time. It's a demanding job, so I have to try to find some of these auditions that might be occurring on a day off or months down the road where I could arrange my schedule. So it's a little difficult in that respect, but it's kind of cool. Just fishing for it, just looking for it, so that's what I'm at now. I don't really have anything right now, so I'm open to suggestions and possibly parts if they're available, but I just want to make sure that I do the right thing at this point in time in my life. I need to pay the bills. I need to work because I work up as a part of a team at a local hospital here at Wake Med. And so
I've voiced for them for like 25 years. So
yeah, well, great. I want to get that there too, but we'll see. So we'll see about the voiceovers and also the acting, whatever can come along. Yeah.
That's wonderful. Well, yeah, guys, usually Joe brings us to this part, but we're going to go through each of you. Where can we find you on social media? Matt, do you have your following, your millions of girls that love you? Just tell us where to follow you on social media.
I just have my personal Facebook and Instagram page, and then I have the only ones have a Facebook page as well. It has our poster up as the profile picture. Carolina Fearfest, of course, is on all the major social media platforms, and that's pretty much all. I pretty much do everything through my personal Facebook page, so that's pretty much my that's all I use it for. I don't really use it for anything personal. That's more like a business page.
Me too. Yeah. So, and Brett, any of your social media following we should know about?
I'm on Facebook. My Brett Wagner page doesn't have any more room, but I have the Big Schwag, and I also have Lost Leatherface pages on Facebook, and then I have the Big Schwag on Instagram, and bigschwag.com, BIGSCHWAG. And then I do have a lostleatherface.com, but I haven't had the time to get that going yet. So you can find me. I'm not hard to find.
Thank God. By the way, real fast, when I was doing a search, Lost Leatherface, I don't know if it's personally signed by you, a Leatherface doll, a Leatherface figure was for sale. Was fetching a bunch of money.
It's probably a Funko Pop.
No, it was this. It looked. I don't know if you personally signed it, but it was supposed to look like that.
Well, if it says Lost Leatherface, I think I'm the only guy that stole that moniker. So, I would hope it's me.
Oh, okay. I want that doll. I wanted to have, a date with Barbie. I was thinking of getting them. Ron, how can we follow you?
Facebook, Instagram, Ron Fazio. I just use my full regular name. I do have a website. It's not really doing so well. I got to figure it out. I have to figure it out. I got to get somebody who's good for getting a website. So I'll be working on that sometime.
I'll talk to you. I've got somebody that's good for VO and all that.
I would love to. Yes,
Yeah,
believe me.
Ron is being very shy. He's being very shy. His only fan page is doing very well.
OnlyFans? Is that what you're saying?
It's doing really well for Ron.
Do you want your name or do you have another name?
No, I'm seriously, Brett. Is there such a thing? Because I don't know anything about it.
It's OnlyFans. Right, you're talking about OnlyFans, right?
I am. Ron, I'll clue you in tomorrow so you don't get angry.
Okay, no, that's fine. Somebody's taking over the OnlyFans page with the Toxic Avenger, so I don't know.
Ooh, so, hey, Amy and Jamie, how are our feet pics doing on OnlyFans? Do you know?
We're good. We're good. We need to add a little bit more, but okay. We're good. We're fine.
How's your feet? What's she holding up? She's holding up her foot.
Well, that's
I can't. Mine don't go that far.
I was gonna say she should be on OnlyFans just for that because she can hold up her foot like
she
that.
Has her,
she has her mic off.
Muted. Yeah, she's muted.
We can't hear you. She gets excited.
Yeah, my dog barks too.
There you go.
Yeah, I am. I have hypermobility.
Ooh, all right. So it sounds like we need to update our OnlyFans page.
I can get that done.
Joe, you want to bring us out. This is sort of Joe's scene.
I don't know. After tonight and all this, I'm still trying to. All right, I'm here. We're good.
We always.
Joe's never going to return.
We do that to him. Last time we got him so worked up, he would sort of pop off. He would just disappear and then he'd come back on again. We went there,
pop
right?
off. Let's not use that term again.
Sorry. A bad choice of words.
Thank you.
Bad choice of words or good choice of words, depending on how you look at it. But.
All right. So what we're going to do is, I got Matt on mute because, Matt, you are the reverb guy. You're the one with all the feedback. That's exactly it, brother. So anyway, Matt, where can everybody find you guys this weekend?
This weekend. Okay.
Carolina Fearfest, Friday through Sunday. This weekend, Memorial Day weekend, at the Jim Graham building at the NC State Fairgrounds. We got a ton of great people there with Ron and Brett. And we got, like I said, Tara Reid, Derek Mears, Troy James from Scary Stories Telling Dark doing his first convention this weekend with us. And that's really cool. So, yeah, we got tons of great people. And we got panels. D. Wallace, of course, D. Wallace, Barbara Crampton, Robert Bukes. Great lineup of guests. So everybody come on out, and we'll be there all weekend at the Jim Graham building, NC State Fairgrounds.
But yet, I wasn't invited.
Joe, you're always invited.
It's public invite. Don't give me that crap.
Don't you live in Portland or something, Joe?
I live in the penis of the United States. I live in Florida.
Never heard of
that. But yeah, everybody's invited, Joe. Don't give me that. Everybody's invited. All right.
I am busting chops. So, ladies and gentlemen, please go over to the Indie Escape Network on all our socials. Hit the like, subscribe, the bells, all the whistles, if you would, please. Doesn't cost you a thing, but means the world to us. We'd greatly appreciate it. And until next time, Wendy, how are you going to close this out?
All right, guys. If you want to hang out for a few minutes, we sometimes chit-chat after the show, but I want to thank everybody for joining us. Jamie, as usual, is adorable, and I love her. Amy, you're my sister. We have so much fun. We're gonna knock it out this weekend. Brett, I'm so glad I finally got to talk to you and meet you. You're like a legend, and Amy speaks so well of you.
I'm a legend in my own mind.
No, he's Leatherface. He's a legend. Okay.
Next time I need to not be so overmatched with the guests. Okay. Next time maybe. I'm on with Leatherface and Toxic Avenger. How do I compare to that?
I am nobody compared to them. Nobody.
This is a stiff competition. Yeah.
Wait till you get
So everybody, thanks so much for joining us tonight, and we're gonna announce our next show probably in the next few weeks. Thank you for joining us. We had a great night.
Have fun, you guys.
Take care.
Bye bye.